Hello, YouTubes! Welcome to Richard's Digest. I'm Richard. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to some videos that I used to make a little while ago called First Listen. In First Listen videos, what I do is I listen to an album or something for the first time. Usually it's something that I haven't heard of or something that I'm not really into, so I've never listened to it before. And this is my first reaction to listening to that album by that artist, whatever it is. So bear that in mind when watching this, that this is a knee-jerk reaction to something. This isn't me considering it and spending some time and pondering over how I feel about it. This is literally immediately how I feel about hearing something for the very first time. So that might change. I might listen to it 2 or 3 more times and my opinion may change. I might hate it right now, and if it's something that you love and I hate it, please just, it's the first time I'm hearing this. A couple of weeks down, I might love it. You never know. Conversely, I may think that this is amazing and it's going to change the world. And then a couple of listens down the line, it's not really my thing. Possibly because usually when I did these, I was a little bit tipsy. But it's Sunday morning, so I've just got water right now. Anyway. The album and the band I'm going to listen to, I have never heard anything of these guys before. I know of them because they're all over the tinterwebs, because they have split the rock community in half. Some people love them, some people hate them. The people I find that hate them are die-hard Led Zeppelin fans because they think that this band are stealing their style, which to me is absolutely hilarious, you bunch of hypocrites. Cue loads of silly messages in the thing. Anyway, so I'm going to listen to Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van Fleet. You all know who I'm talking about. And the album is Anthem of the Peaceful Army. I've got it all queued up over here. I'm going to stick on my headphones like so, and I'm going to listen to the entire album, and I'll come back and tell you guys what I thought of it upon my very first listen ever. Oh, I'm out of breath. Yeah. Right. What did I think then? Exhausted. What did I think of the old Greta Van Fleet Anthem of the Peaceful Army? No. I was very skeptical. I thought I was going to go into this album and absolutely just hate every second of it. Because of all of the talk about Led Zeppelin, and I have my own prejudices towards Led Zeppelin because of their thieves and whatnot. And I thought it was funny the way that Led Zeppelin fans react to the Fleets because of their saying that they've stolen Led Zeppelin shit, man, when, nearly everything. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But let's just get into it. I'm out of breath. I'll be playing the air drums. Overall, I really liked that. I really enjoyed it a lot. His voice, the first time you hear it, is mad. It's kind of like a chipmunk, but not quite as tweaked as a chipmunk. It's a little bit down from a chipmunk, which is kind of bizarre. And I don't know a lot of how Robert Plant sounds that much when he squeals and screams, because I don't listen to Led Zeppelin, so I don't know how akin to him he actually is, and if that's just a knee-jerk reaction that everybody's making in the first place. And but then there's a lot of John Paul Jones in there. There's a hell of a lot of Bonham in there. There's a hell of a lot of Jimmy Page in there. But at the same time, there's a hell of a lot of everybody in there. Like, I mean, every rock album that's ever been released in the history of time is on that album, more or less. I like most of the tracks, apart from when they're slowed down. I think when they're slowed down, they kind of really lost their youth, their joie de vivre, and they just became any rock band. Like, what was the... It was a really terrible ballad. Anthem, which is almost the album closer if it wasn't for the reprise of the Lover Lever. So Anthem, even the guitar to me sounded like, give a little bit of your life to me. Give a little bit. It could have been Extreme. It could have been Poison. It could have been Warrant. You know what I mean? It could have been Mr. Big, for crying out loud. But Mountain of the Sun was great with that slide guitar on it. I loved Lover Lever, Take a Believer, and the first version of it, Lover Lever. And I guess you could probably argue that they're the most Led Zeppelin style of songs as well, right? The more bluesy, rocky stuff. So I'm thinking maybe it's time for me to give Led Zeppelin a break. Let's put our differences aside. As it says, let's agree to disagree. Let's put our differences aside, Led Zeppelin. Maybe you can be on my next first listen. Yeah, Brave New World. Brave New World was another one that I got really bored listening to. I thought it was quite tedious. On record, right? First time listening, I thought it was a bit tedious on record and a bit contrived. And I thought it was a bit contrived to be a live performance song. And I think in a live situation, in a huge big stadium with thousands of fans, they love that because it's got the different peaks and troughs that are going on it, and guitar solo, and it breaks down, and you know, that's definitely going to be a live favourite. But I thought first time listening, at least on the studio version, didn't really do it for me that much. But highlights was definitely the first track, Age of Man. I liked that a lot. I really liked that a lot. It was a surprise. I think it was the only surprise for me on the album, and maybe that's because I didn't know what I was expecting. But there was nothing on that album where I went, "Oh, I've never heard that before," or that's nothing. It was a bog standard rock bluesy album, I would say. Kids can play like shit, man. The kids are great players. He can really sing, whether you like the higher pitched tone of the voice or not. It's great. So Age of Man I loved. Lover Lever, the first version I loved. The Lover Lever, Take a Believer, I thought was excellent. That's how I'm kind of out of breath from playing air drums on that. Watching Over was You're the One, The New Day, and Anthem was, why was that on there? Why was Anthem on there? It doesn't fit on there at all. And like I say, if it wasn't for the reprise of Lover Lever, that would have been the album closer, and that would have left me just thinking, gee, I never want to hear these again. But I will give them a listen another time, for sure. And if there is anything that you guys think that I should listen to for the first time, go and put a comment below, let me know. Like I said, I think I will give Led Zeppelin a go, so I might as well do that on one of these videos. So let me know which Led Zeppelin album I should listen to, but don't make it whatever album it is that has Stairway to Heaven on, because I won't listen to that, because it's the worst song ever written in the history of the world. According to me, caveat, according to me, don't lose your knickers. So, thanks for watching. I will consider Led Zeppelin for the next one of these that I do. Overall, Greta Van Fleet, Anthem of Peaceful Army, I am going to give 4 miserable dickheads out of 5. And really, if it wasn't for if they had have taken Anthem off, if I'd have taken Anthem and Watching Over off, I would have given it a 5. And I know how important that is to the band, that I would have given them a 5. So next time, consult me before you release your album, guys. Thank you for watching, everybody. Goodbye.